everyone, I'm Mark from Travelshorts. This is my son Matthew, and today we're in the Welsh capital city of Cardiff. And the first place we're going to go is behind us, Cardiff Castle. So that was the first section of the castle we've been to, which was the accommodation block, or the old ancient house that had been here for a while. It was originally owned by, who was it? The Bute family.
Yeah.
The Bute family, who actually converted the medieval castle behind us into a more classical Gothic thing in, when was it? 17th or 18th century? 19th century. So that's the house behind us. We're now going to walk ahead of us here. I guess we're going to try and go onto the castle walls and the keep after Matthew goes in the stocks. There he is. Just need some rotten tomatoes to throw at you. Just for reference, you can see there's absolutely nobody here at the moment. So this is the end of the school summer holidays. The castle opened at 9 and it's currently about 9:45. You do need to purchase a ticket if you want to come to these areas of the castle, but you can walk around the grounds free of charge. Ticket costs for both of me and Matthew, we booked it yesterday on the castle website directly. I think one adult and one child came to £26. So we've come out of the tunnels and now we're walking, well, along the ramparts of the castle. There's a large walkway all the way along here. Sun's finally come out as well. It was raining first thing this morning. So it's quite a bright sun now. Good. We did walk into an area which just had kind of World War II music playing, and also sounded like Neville Chamberlain talking about the Second World War beginning. It looks like this castle was used during the war for people to take shelter in during air raids. But I think we're just going to keep walking around. It looks like if we do a complete loop, if I'm honest. So on top of the wall, I'm not that sure. Guess I should have done a bit of more research before coming here. But I think we just walk along the wall all the way around in a complete, well, not a circle, in a square. So we've come back down into the tunnel system. It's known as the wartime tunnel. So obviously this is where people stayed during the war. We've got some beds, or beds free, by the time I was here. I can hear the radio going on as well. There's posters all over the walls. But I think I'm going to turn back around and go back into the garden because it looks like this is a tunnel all the way down. And we already started on the tunnel at the other end a while ago before we went up on the ramparts. So we've come back into the main section of the grounds now, and we're heading for the keep, which is behind me over there. Heading up the steps, right to the very top of the keep. Oh, we're at the top. Oh no, there's more as well. Time to go back down the steps. And we found the toilet. Like this is a well just at the bottom of the steps. Oh yeah, you can even see the water at the bottom of it reflecting back on us. So we are now in the Firing Line Museum. It's dedicated to the military history around the castle and to South Wales. It's in date order, so we're starting in 1815 and we're going to work our way through the timeline now. So that was the Firing Line Museum. If I'm honest, I think that's probably been my favourite part of the whole museum here. Do you know Cardiff Castle? Yeah, it's really interesting, showing Welsh history during all the wars for the last few centuries. Now we're going to head towards the chariot wall. So this castle was actually based on Roman foundations. It looks like this is what it is here. So we finished our time here at the Cardiff Castle. We're going to head out back into the centre of Cardiff and go to the Museum of Wales for a short amount of time, probably only about half an hour or so, because we've got a number of other places we want to go to today. So we've just arrived at the Museum of Wales. That only took less than 10 minutes from Cardiff Castle. We have further steps here and we're about to go in. And the best thing of all, it's free entry. But donations are obviously really appreciated. So it looks like the museum is divided into different eras of Wales, well, prehistory. So we're currently in this first section, which is the prehistoric time that Wales was in. So it's talked about all the fossils. We've seen a number of fossils. Looks like we're going to go to a dinosaur area here, maybe. So we've just finished in the museum. We only spent about 30 to 40 minutes in there because we want to head back to our car and drive to a place called St Fagans. It's about a 15-minute drive out from the centre of Cardiff. So we've come to a place called Jollibee for our lunch. If you're not familiar with Jollibee, they're a Filipino fast food chain, a chicken joint. And I didn't even know there was any in the UK, if I was honest. Me and Matthew have had some in Hong Kong when we were there a few months ago. But Matthew didn't really try it then because he had food poisoning. So I had some Jollibees, but I didn't really enjoy it because Matthew wasn't very well. So we're here in Cardiff eating Filipino fast food, Jollibee. So let's try it. I went for the 3-piece chicken joint and Matthew went for a chicken burger. We've just had a quick look inside Cardiff Cathedral, which is here, is behind me here. So, quite impressive. It's a small cathedral, if I'm honest, but we didn't film in there out of respect because there was a service going on. We just went into the back, stayed there for a couple of minutes, and then came back out. So, like I said, we're on our way back to our car. So we parked in our hotel where we were staying last night, and then we're going to drive to a place called St Fagans, which is an outdoor museum celebrating the history of Wales. So what the building used to be like in the olden days. Never been there before. So we'll be experiencing it the first time, me and Matthew. It's about a 10 to 15 minute drive out of the city centre. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks quite interesting from what I've seen online. So we've arrived at St Fagans. That was about a 20-minute drive from the centre of Cardiff. Nice easy drive. Just as you get a bit closer, the roads do go quite small, so it is awkward to pass some larger vehicles along the way. Entrance to St Fagans is totally free, but you do need to pay for the car park, and that was £7 on entry. So we're just going to start walking around and see exactly what's here. So St Fagans is a museum about Welsh life. It's outdoors. It's all the old traditional buildings that have been brought here to showcase what Welsh life used to be like in days gone by. First thing we've come up to here, by the look of it, is a chapel. So let's have a look inside what an old traditional Welsh chapel used to look like. So all the buildings on site were actually brought from other parts of Wales and rebuilt here. And there's plenty of places to refill your bottle as well on site, which is really good. This farmhouse behind us was actually built in 1470 and then got dismantled and re-erected here in the site of St Fagans in 1959. It's amazing to think this is over 500 years old, this farmhouse building behind us. So Matthew, do you know why there's sawdust on the floor in that pub?
Wood.
No, because people used to chew tobacco and then spit on the floor. So they should have been spitting into spittoons, like little pots, but they never did that. So they used to spit on the floor, and by having sawdust on the floor, it's easy for the person to clean up afterwards.
Any prize, no losers.
So we finished our visit to St Fagans. Unfortunately, we only had about an hour to an hour and a half here, so we didn't get to see even half the traditional buildings we would have liked to. And the reason is because we're now going to be going to the Royal Mint experience, where they actually mint all the coins for the United Kingdom. And the Royal Mint experience is actually a timed entry, so we've got timed entry for 3 o'clock this afternoon, which gives us just over half an hour to get there. So it's only a 20-minute drive, but I want to make sure we get there early. So if you're in the area and you like local history and Welsh history in particular, I highly recommend here. And I think you needed at least 3 hours to experience all the buildings that are here. So we've made it to the Royal Mail experience here, just outside of Cardiff. We're running a bit late. The traffic was a bit bad coming from St Fagans. So we've got 3 o'clock entry. It's now 2:58. Hopefully they're not dead on time when it comes to these timed entries. From what I've seen on the website, you aren't allowed to film inside a number of areas, obviously probably for security reasons, because they've got up to almost £1 billion worth of coins inside here. So I'm not sure what the setup's actually like, but anything we can film, I will film and show you guys, but we're about to go in there now. So we finished the tour of the actual production process here at the Royal Mint. It took about an hour. Our guide Tommy was really informative. Like I said at the beginning, you aren't allowed to film inside. So we're now in the exhibition area where you are allowed to film. During the production tour, we saw coins being struck from many places that aren't the UK, which was really surprising. So they did Hong Kong coin, Malawi coins, Zimbabwe coins, Haiti coins, Macau coins, and they actually haven't struck any UK coins this year. So we're 2024, we're August 2024, and there's no UK coins which have been struck this year. It was all done back in 2023. Yeah, Matthew said he struck more coins than the Royal Mint. So at the end of the tour, we actually struck our own 50 pences. So the cost of this, hold on a second. So Matthew struck his own 50 pence commemorating the Olympics, which has just gone in Paris. So it's an automated machine. The guy just put the metal blank into the press, and then Matthew pressed the button and struck his own 50 pence. And like I said, that costs £7.50 to do that, but it is in great uncirculated condition, so that would be a collector's item here. Okay, so like I said, we've now finished the tour, and this is the exhibition area. We're going to have a little look around, and we're allowed to film, take as many photos as we like in here. So let's take a walk around. We start at one end, which is when the coins were first struck by the Royal Mint over 1,000 years ago. So just give you a little bit of history. This table behind me here. Oh, where is it? Here, so that's the Tower of London there. That's where the coins used to be struck before they moved to Llangollen here in South Wales. Well, actually, it was originally struck in the Tower of London. Then when it grew too big to be struck there, it moved over to Tower Hill. Yes, that's right. Just trying to remember what the guy told us. So we moved over to Tower Hill. And when we moved over to decimalisation in the UK in the early 70s, this site at Llangollen was constructed in the late 60s to prepare for decimalisation. And when decimalisation happened in the early 70s, the Tower Hill branch of the Royal Mint was actually closed down. Now this site became the main production site, well, the only production site for coins in the UK. Apparently it's a huge site. He did say how many acres it was, but I don't recall. So as well as producing the coins here, they also do commemorative coins, medals, etc. So let's have a quick look around this exhibition area, shall we? So what did you think about the tour, Matthew?
Good.
Good. It was interesting to know that they make other coins here than UK ones. The thing that the guy just mentioned that Matthew just reminded me of then, this site actually makes, well, just even last year alone, made coins for 30 countries. So that's around 20% of the whole globe has their coins produced here at Llangollen in South Wales. So this 1 pence here was actually struck by the Queen, and that's the first coin that was actually struck on this site back in the 1970s. we have been to Nepal, been to New Zealand, trying to look how many countries we've been to where they've got... Yeah, I've been, you haven't. Been to Australia, been to Jordan. We've been to Jordan, yes. Been to Saudi Arabia, been to Peru, been to Ireland, been to India, Netherlands, Poland, yes, Fiji, Paraguay. No, I haven't been to Paraguay, have I? No, I haven't. Ooh, have I? I can't remember. I might have been to Switzerland. Yes. Yeah, Switzerland, Maldives, Iceland. Wow. Hong Kong.
Spain. You've been to Spain?
Yeah.
Jordan.
Spain. Cyprus.
Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia. Oh, it's fascinating to think that here at Llandrysant in South Wales, they make coins for all these different countries. Oh, just a correction. I haven't been to Paraguay. I've been to Panama. I remembered. And when I say I've been to Panama, I've been to the airport, had a hot dog, had a donut, and then flew out of there. It's a connecting flight. But I still class those kind of trips as a country I've been to. Matthew just pointed out there's an upside down computer screen. So one thing I didn't realise until this tour, Sir Isaac Newton, famous for, well, not discovering gravity, but his law of gravity, he was actually the head of the Royal Mint for, 30 years, or 20 years, or 30 years, near the end of his life. So one thing they did have in the tour was tubs of coins like this. So if this is actually full with pound coins, but I guess if you got a fake base there, that would be almost £100,000 worth of pound coins in that one box there. Could buy a house in some areas of the UK with that there. So you can see here, these are the dies that actually make the coins. So not only do they produce coins here at Llandrysant, they also produce the Olympic medals for the 2012 Olympic Games in London. So we've got the gold, got the silver, and we got the bronze, and we've also got the Paralympic medals as well. So it looks like at one point you could put your arm in there and feel the weight of that gold bullion bar, but they've now sealed it off to stop people doing it, which is a shame. It'd be interesting to just see how heavy that bar of gold is. So that's the end of the exhibition part of the tour now. So we're going to leave the exhibition and have a look around the gift shop. Ooh, what's this? Even got something for Goonies. So this area here that we've just come now is about, well, coins at sea and shipwrecks, I guess. So this is the last room of the tour. Well, say the tour, the exhibition part of the tour. The guide did tell us it's going to be closing at 4:30. It's now 4:23. So we've only got a few more minutes before the place is closed. So we'll have a quick look around here. Then we'll go into the gift shop to have a look there. And there you got Captain Matthew at the head of the table. Wow, so that's coin is from 1702. Off a shipwreck. We've even got George Michael coin. Oh, gold proof coin. £100. So that coin there is a King Henry VIII 1/4 ounce fine gold coin at £875. Well, that's just under £3,500, that one. That's a £5 coin. £5, oh, it's gold proof, but it's like, wow, 3,500. got a Harry Potter coin here, minted this year. Over 20,000 were produced, 50 pence denomination, and it's £21. In fact, you've got quite a lot of different Harry Potter coins. And even Narnia. So that mini is made with old pennies. So that's it. Our day in Cardiff is now finished. We've finished the Royal Mint Experience tour. So all that leaves to do now is wrap up this video and thank you guys for watching it all the way to the end. It's really appreciated. If you're new here, my name's Mark, along with my son Matthew. We make travel and theme park videos from around the world. If you've enjoyed what you see, please think about liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell button. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, see ya. Bye. Bye. Actually, just one last thing before we go. I know we've just done the outro, but if you're interested in tickets for coming to the Royal Mint Experience here, I purchased mine through Get Your Guide. If you're a regular subscriber to my channel, you know I get nearly all my attraction tickets around the world from Get Your Guide. They have great service. You also get a lot of the tickets cheaper than if you went directly to the actual original supplier as well, which I always find really fascinating. And one of the best things is you can cancel usually within 24 hours notice if your plans change while you're traveling around the world. So if you are interested in purchasing tickets for the Royal Mint Experience via Get Your Guide, I'll leave a link in the description down below, but you can also scan the QR code, which is probably going to appear on the screen here somewhere. So once again, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.